But first, as we all know, Micheal Leary makes his money as chief executive of Ryanair and owner of a few successful racehorses. But he also loses a bit of money with his Angus breeding farm outside Mullingar in County Westmeath. At least this is what he wanted my colleague Hannah Quinn Mulligan to believe when she visited Gigginstown to interview him for this week's Irish Farmers Journal ahead of his annual bull sale on Saturday week.
I think, given where the market is this year, prices will probably be down a bit again. Their farming is struggling at the moment, particularly with Brexit. People are uncertain, although hopefully the fact that Easter is later, we'll have more of the dairymen will be there looking for quality Angus bulls. But they're all for sale. They're generally sold. We sell them without reserve. We have a lot of numbers now, so they're there to be sold, and we're not going to mess around on pricing.
You're known for being, a businessman that has an eye on efficiency the whole time, especially financial efficiency. I mean, would this farm be financially efficient without your own farming?
Not really. Like most people in farming, or in large-scale farming, I have a big income coming from somewhere else. Frankly, the airline industry. The farm loses money. The cattle tends to, hopefully in a good year, will break even. But, generally speaking, we lose money over a year with the cattle, and the horses make up for it.
You're not tempted by dairying. A lot of people are going into it. No.
I'm very fashionable at the moment, but no, it's too labour intensive. It's not something that I would want to be interested in, and we're very happy with the model of the farm we have at the moment.
There was a vote this week by MEPs to say that they were backing a flattening of farm payments to €185 per hectare. I mean, would that affect your farm payment if it happened?
I'm sure it will, but it's inevitable. It's coming. You look at the budgetary strain across the EU. It's inevitable that farm income, that the subsidies for farming are going to be cut back. I think it's absolutely inevitable. The question is how and over what period of time. And I think over the longer period of time, it's inevitable. I think we will move towards there'll be no subsidies towards farms, but that's a big adjustment, and it will take some time for it to happen within the European Union.
I mean, the argument there when you say no subsidies for some farms is that I'm talking about certain individuals, say Larry Goodman's been mentioned, who shouldn't get a farm payment. And do you think that you should get a farm payment?
Frankly, no. But I'm not sure it would be very difficult. Given where the system is moving, where the payments are related to acreage, mind you here. I think you fancied it. It doesn't make that much difference. A lot of I know what I get on farm payments. I think about 30 or 40,000 a year here. Makes no difference to me one way or the other. But there will be adjustments for particularly smaller farmers. But smaller farmers are not going to be economic units. And the way farming is going, certainly you look at dairy and beef farming, it's going to move towards bigger units and bigger producers.
What is an active farmer for you?
Ultimately, I think it's kind of nonsense. It's just it's a way that the EU will have of reducing the payments. Am I an active farmer? No. But I have, employ 8 people on the farm, all of whom are very active, Joe and the rest of the team. So I'm not sure how you would discriminate against an owner who doesn't actually farm the farm, but if you're creating employment here on the farm, but the farm manager and people who work on the farm, they're as entitled to it as
the revenue currently has a definition where an active farmer, say for a young farmer availing stamp duty relief, is someone who doesn't spend less than 50% of their time on the farm working. Is that a fair definition?
I think it probably is, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to get to a situation, certainly where the EU subsidies are going to be, that you will remove it from people like me, who clearly is not an active farmer by that definition, but because ultimately we'll switch it to the farm manager or somebody else. There'll always be a way around these systems. Ultimately, what the EU needs to do is move away from subsidies altogether, so we get to a more market-based system that will ultimately then be sustainable.
We've seen this week or this year the rise of a new farm organisation called the Beef Plan Movement. And I was wondering if you're in the Beef Plan Movement, do you get WhatsApp messages or anything like that?
If they're sending around WhatsApp messages or social messages, then I'm not in it. I am not on social media.
So do you think there may be kind of too many farm organisations?
Yes. I don't think they really do that well. I don't think they really service the industry that well anyway.
You're saying that eventually you'd like to see the farm payments done away with. But
no, I don't think that's right. It's not that I'd like to see them done away with. I think they're inevitably going to be done away with because...
But if they were skewed more towards, say, eco-schemes, biodiversity, say if farmers were rewarded, say, for doing more biodiverse measures, do you think that would be fair?
I think it's another artificial constraint. I mean, what farmers should be doing is, if there's going to be any incentives, it's towards more efficiency, producing food more efficiently, because that's ultimately what the consumer wants. We want better quality food and more efficient food.
So
All
not
this
climate.
other biodiversity stuff is, to my mind, kind of short-term nonsense.
So in terms of the whole climate debate raging about cows burping and farting, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, somewhat absurd. Look, we have certainly, I mean, I dislike the whole debate, the way it centres around climate change, or somehow some man-made action can prevent climate change. Climate's been changing for thousands of years, it will continue to change for thousands of years. There has clearly been an issue with global warming in the last 25 years, but 25 years is much too short a period of time to make any decisions.
But there is an awful lot of talk about the taxes, there's a lot of talk about carbon emissions from farming and from the airline industry. And
Yeah.
if someone was to argue to put a carbon tax on one, I mean, which one would you choose? Which one do you think would make a bigger difference?
Neither, I mean, because both will be unsuccessful in what it is they're trying to achieve. You know, this idea that just by taxing something we're going to reduce its use is nonsense. If you look at the airline industry, fuel is by far and away our biggest bill. Last year we spent over $2 billion a year on fuel. We go to extraordinary measures to minimise the fuel we use. In fact, you know, we're now Europe's greenest, cleanest airline in the sense that we burn less fuel per seat or per passenger carried than any other airline in Europe. We're about to spend more than $20 billion buying a fleet of aircraft that actually will burn 16% less fuel per seat than our existing fleet. There's a lot of environmental nonsense being trotted out there. What we want is, what consumers want is low-cost air travel, one, because it's very efficient, and it accounts for less than 2% of the EU CO2 output. Road transport accounts for nearly 30%. And we want more efficient, high-quality food, which is what, thankfully, Irish farming and Irish agriculture produces. We should be proud of it. Stop taxing us, stop knocking ourselves.
You talked last year about veganism and you said it was a fad, but it seems
Yeah.
to have kind of gone from strength to strength. I mean,
No,
what
it
are your
hasn't.
opinions of it now? Well, Veganuary, I mean, a lot of people would have said
Rubbish.
it was very successful.
Oh, well, look, the world is not going to convert to veganism. The sales of Burger King, McDonald's continue to rise. You know, it is a fad. It won't survive. Ultimately, you know, people will still eat meat. The vast majority of the world population will still eat meat. It needs to be in a balanced diet, nutritious balanced diet. But is everybody going to move to veganism? No.
Well, we've got Green Forward coming out and saying that a third of their products are now free from something. I mean, are vegan products being sold in the Ryanair sites?
Yeah, I know they're not, and there's no demand for them to be sold on Ryanair products. You know, veganism is a fad. Fine, it's like all these other fads are the same. Vegetarianism preceded it. Now it's been displaced by veganism. Fine, let them at it. But the vast majority of the population will continue to bear a degree of common sense and will continue to eat meat, thankfully, as part of a balanced diet. What we're trying to do here is to encourage them to eat Angus meat, because it is by far and away the best beef we produce in this country.
I mean, Hereford's not bad either.
Mind
for
those
to talk
Herefords,
about.
overrated redhead.